Hi guys, it's Jess. Welcome back to my channel, and today I have a fun reading on how did they react to your action. Confusing, I know, but you already saw the thumbnail and I probably said it much better on that. So I do have 3 piles here, pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. If you want to pause the video here to choose your pile, you can. Let me hold these up for you. This is pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. So again, go ahead and pause the video if you need. Otherwise, let's jump right in with pile number 1. All right, pile 1. Let's see. We have, tell me what you want and I will make it happen. I'm communicating with you through music. I didn't see your value. I'm kind of wondering if this is a lead over from yesterday's reading because I pulled those same ones and I shuffled the heck out of that bag. All right. Okay. Pile number 1, how did they feel about the action that you took towards them? They felt turned on by it, quite frankly, with the Ace of Wands. Here, like, you got their juices going in one way or another. I'm really feeling that if this is a passionate kind of a connection, all this, like, okay, wait, hold on here, because we have, I didn't see your value before. And I'm kind of getting that whatever it is that you did, which maybe was displaying some kind of uncertainty or letting this person know that like you had other options and that maybe you were more honestly valuable than they noticed. Like you upped your status in this person's eyes in some way or another. You managed to do that. And I'm getting like the second house, right, with the number 2, like I'm just getting this tie here. The second house rules actual values. So, and you have some earth energy here with Capricorn and with the second house. So, and that is like the conversation of status, right, with the 10th house and how people are seeing you. And also the conversation of the second house, which is actual values, which does not tied to money. Like we've tied that to money, but originally this is like finding something that is of true value, right? And I've already talked about this, that water, I think water is money to me, and pentacles is more like assets or true value or true worth or something like that, where money is like a communication and it's like a flow. So I'm really getting that you upped your value in this person's eyes. I think that they probably, maybe there was some kind of a creative project or some aspect of you that is more like creative. This could have been like a creative talent in some way that you displayed and this person found it incredibly attractive. I also feel like they could want to like work with you in some way because the way that they're seeing you is you have the Capricorn card, right, with the 10th house and then Child Divine. And Child Divine, the light attribute is innocence, purity, and redemption suggests a special connection with the divine. So, and then I want to read the shadow attribute because I think the shadow attribute has to do with how they were seeing you before. So it says an inability to defend oneself against negative forces. So before, it's like I kind of think they thought of you as kind of weak, almost in like a childlike state. Somebody who needed a lot of protection, somebody that wasn't very, I'm not trying to offend you. I'm really, and clearly they disagree with their own assessment moving forward, but there could have been something that was a little bit childlike, a little gestury, a little unstable with you that this person wasn't really respecting, but now they're respecting you a ton. They see you as like a very powerful person. And I think your person might be a person of power and status too. It's just something that I'm getting. And I think that might be kind of a language that they talk. Like that's something that they look for in their partners and the people around them, because this person I think is someone who worries about their social status, and they're always trying to climb that social ladder, and they rub elbows with all the right people, and they're very strategic in that kind of a way. And it's a way that they, honestly, their identity is kind of a little bit wrapped around that. So it's like they saw you, and I think that they always knew that you were physically attractive, like on the outside, and that you were very jovial and very fun to be around. But it's like that person just doesn't respect that, with the Capricorn energy kind of coming through. And I'm also getting Scorpio, because this kind of, I don't know why this rock, I'm just like thinking of Pluto for some reason. Just because it's so like kind of shiny. I know Pluto isn't like a black planet, but that it's very like icy and whatever, but I am just kind of getting this powerful energy, you know? And also I'm getting the energy of transformation, creative transformation with that Scorpio energy and the water. And Scorpio is a highly creative, transformative card. So I feel like you made kind of a power move in this person's eyes. You might have even tipped their own value in some way, where you kind of gave them a little bit of a run for their money in an area that they weren't really expecting. And it just threw them off. And like you being able to do that, I think caught them completely off guard, but they're like amused by it in some kind of way. Like they're like, oh, because I think there is something kind of childlike about you, but it is like, it's childlike in the best way, of this like very creative sort of an energy coming through. Yeah. And I think they saw other people responding to you in a kind of a way, almost like they saw you as a leader, and they saw people listening to you and caring what you had to say. And it really turned something in this person's mind, and stirred something in their loins. I've got to say, I think this person has absolutely pleasured themselves to the thought of you. I got to say. I think that I don't know why this is coming through. I'm so sorry. I feel like the fantasy was probably work-based. It was like quickie kind of a thing, like spur of the moment, like you guys being overtaken by this sort of passionate endeavor. That's just something that's kind of coming through. So, yeah. So why did they feel that way? We have the Fool, which is a major arcana card. Okay, I always say that the Fool is the most powerful card in the deck, right? Because when you like lay out the three lines, like the Fool sits up at the top, and the Fool being the 0 can pop in anywhere that it wants. And it's this kind of energy that is unencumbered, and it's pure potential. So I think your person sees your pure potential, and where they didn't see it before, like they just kind of thought that this was childish, but then all of a sudden you did something that really solidified whatever it is that your creative talents are, and grounded it into the material world in some way. And so this person, I feel like they want to move forward with you on a lot of levels. And again, this the reading that I posted yesterday, this is definitely the similar energy to one of the piles that was in there. Also, it's like you, I feel like, are not a person that's concerned with status, and your person's like really noticing that, but it gives you some kind of a power. Like I feel like you find yourselves in these circles with these people, right? And you are 100% yourself. I feel like you might be a little bohemian. You might have like this artistic style. There's something super creative and honestly like totally yourself about you, with the sun in the background here. And I'm just, okay, because I'm being reminded of the sun card in the astrology deck, both with the Ace of Wands and with the sun here. So I'm getting that energy of K2. There could be something very interesting about your voice, almost hypnotic, that like your person has noticed, like people just kind of follow you. And there's this trust, there's this link with the divine. K2 is, it's one of the nodes. It's not an actual planet. It's the south node, and it's highly associated with spirituality because it's headless. And the head is like obviously our thinking, rational, logical mind, and all of our senses plug into our head, right? And our brain. So sometimes there could be something with the speech because in Hindu mythology, the Shiva chops off Rahu, and Ketu was like considered a demon, but he chops off his head, so like right at that throat area. So there might be something noteworthy about this person's throat. Oftentimes people with K2, like they have thicker throats, or there could be something like just notable about the speech. You might not even speak that much, and maybe that's why your person got the wrong idea about you before, because then all of a sudden they heard you speak, and I feel like you spoke with such passion, and people like really responded to it. Because K2 people, when they speak, they can be very hypnotic. I also just looked up and saw the word music, so this could have a lot to do with music, where there's something just like and the Fool, I'm almost getting like the Pied Piper, so maybe there's something very beautiful and romantic and just honestly inspiring about you. And your person's starting to see this childlike creative energy as a display of power, really. Because it is, right? It absolutely is. Revati, the jester of the zodiac, is the very final nakshatra, and it is like that divine jester that smiles on everything, you know? About the little ironies that you kind of find woven in, and you are like a walking irony to this person. And your person, I am with the Capricorn Scorpio energy that I'm picking up on. Your person almost, I feel like, wants to have like sex with you to get to know you on a deeper level because you threw them. And I feel like your person's not really used to that, because I do think that your person is maybe like pretty observant, you know, because they're used to trying to pick out like who to kind of schmooze up to or whatever. But you having this sort of internal, honestly, God-given, child divine, you have divine gifts. You have some kind of like, this is like, these are gifts that are like, you were born with. It's a part of your mission here in this world. So there's a power that comes from it that's not worldly, but that your person is seeing in a worldly sense. Because I am getting like heavy Capricorn energy for your person. I just keep being drawn to that. I know this is how they see you. And I think that they're seeing you. It's like that mirroring thing, because I think your person's brain, like they need to file people and like how they're of use to them, to be quite frank. And so your person is seeing you as being able to enhance their status or furthering them in their career. But like all of a sudden you're a person of value that this person kind of wants to be around. They feel like it increases their credibility or their cred, you know, as we say on the streets, in other people's eyes. Like it's good for them to be around you in some kind of way. Goodness, for some of you, they might even want to have a kid with you. I don't know. Or you have a child and maybe your child is some kind of protege or something, but, or they think will be. Or, oh, I got this in another reading too. I don't remember when this was, but like, I feel like they almost wonder if like they had a kid with you, if this would be like a divinely gifted child, you know, with like their Capricornian like business smarts, and maybe your person like makes a lot of money and is very stable and could provide for a child in that kind of a way. And then with your creativity, like I don't know how in tune your person is and how shrewd they are. I'm so curious about that if you want to share, by the way. Like how with it are they? Because if they're super with it, this is definitely something that's crossed their mind. So, definitely. Honestly, like if you hit on this person and they're in another relationship, it would just really threw them off and also turn them on at the same time. And they could still like want to have a kid with you and like, you know, I don't know, manage both situations. Because your person honestly strikes me as maybe having a very strong ego that really comes from that low self-esteem kind of a place. And maybe your person was restricted in some area, like I'm kind of getting, right, with the 10th house being opposite the 4th house. That 4th house is what everything in your chart is really built on, because it's that house of home, that watery house of like, honestly, the subconscious. And I know this, the 4th house is often associated with the mother, but a lot of astrologers associated with the father, because it's, you know, the mother is usually always around unless she's like forcibly taken for the most part. But like it said that everything's kind of built on the back of the father. So some astrologers will say like the 4th house is the father, and the 10th house is the mother. So I don't know, I'm kind of getting that kind of energy where there was some maybe kind of restriction of love and so your person got used to like working for praise in their childhood. And I do feel like on some level, right, whether like, I don't know how conscious this is for your person, and I think it'll probably vary based on your people, but they are trying to, they can see like fixing that with you. Like, oh, like if you guys were to have a kid together, your kid, or if you already do have a kid with this person, you know, your child, maybe you got pregnant, I don't know. But your child would have a different sort of a childhood, because you are such a creative, loving person that honestly vibes with that childish, not childish, but like childlike kind of an energy. This person strikes me as a provider. Like definitely your person is very traditional, and they're coming off as having a very masculine energy. Even if this is a female person, they're coming off as like a traditional male role. Because we have tell me what you want and I'll make it happen. And I'm getting like this 10th house, 4th house axis of your person really wanting to provide for you. So your person, also I feel like your person is kind of motivated by sex. And I do feel like there's something about the way that they look at that sexual bond that is maybe unwise in a sense. Like they attribute more to it than it actually is, where like you need to be able to tell yourself, you know, Mars, by the way, that rules sex, rules the groin, matures at age 28. So if you're dealing with a man specifically, because Mars is one of the ruling planets for men or masculine type, you know, energies, and that person's over the age of 28, and this is something to really pay attention to, because they should be ruling their sexual impulses, not attributing extra things to them. You know what I'm saying? Like they should have that sexual impulse in its place, you know, and they should be able to channel that yang energy, right? It's about like directing energy to create results, right? Like just think about that in your mind for a little bit, and not too long though. Let's not get pervy. But yeah, like that's a huge part of the masculine path, is being able to direct that life force energy. So if your person is over the age of 28 or thereabouts, and like they're still struggling with sex, like maybe they're having sex affairs and things like that, something to pay attention to. Okay, like don't ignore that, and never ignore it, but like you can't kind of just be like, oh, you know. And again, you know, that's just what astrology says. I'm just relaying that kind of information. If it's not resonating with you, then just, you know, just let that go. So we have, I'm communicating with you through music. Like I said, there's some kind of a creative connection going on here. And I don't know if you're actually making music. Maybe you both have like this hobby of making music, or your person honestly maybe is some kind of an executive or something. But I mean, if you feel like your person has been communicating with you through songs, definitely like pay attention to that, because we're getting some kind of, you know, confirmation here. That's how this energy is being transmuted between the two of you. But you both are creative people, so if there is like, if your person asks you to see a show or something and they're like making intense eye contact with you during a certain song, like yeah, your person's trying to like send you a message, you know. So how are they feeling about you and the connection? Really great, honestly. Like there's a lot of, like your person feels very comfortable around you with the 6 of Cups here. Again, we have the energy of children coming through. So that's just something to pay attention to. And again, you guys are different on some kind of a level. You're, like, I think your person just, they might have more status than you. They might have more recognition than you. But your person, like, there's still, your person, based on what you did, right? Your person is now kind of like, oh, you know, they're having to see you as, like, they're equal. See how one of these is, like, lower than the other one? Like, he's like realizing that actually this is tipping back and forth. Like you have talents that this person doesn't have, and that they have talents that you don't have, and that it's actually valuable, right? Like it's actually super valuable. And this person is not used to feeling this way at all. Like you definitely turn this person's emotions up. You turn their sexual energy up, but you're turning this person's emotions up. And so they're not really used to that, you know? And I think honestly, your person is intrigued by it. You know, in a sexual way. It's like definitely coming off in sexual energy, but like they're super intrigued by it. You caught them off guard. Like they have respect for you too. Like they have a lot of, with this Capricorn card up here, they have a lot of respect for you. And I think that also the energy of Saturn, like Saturn, where Saturn is in your chart, right? Saturn is Guru in Vedic, and so it can talk about a place in your psyche where you're actually really porous. So maybe you guys you were able to tap into this person's psyche in some kind of a way. You know, they thought they had some kind of power over you, but your chart overlays, like you could have some kind of Capricorn, Saturn, and Saturn in Vedic also rules Aquarius, so you could have some like Aquarian overlays that to where your person looks up to you in a kind of way, and they're surprised by that because there's something about this connection. Like they could be older than you, they could have more status than you, something like that, where they feel like they shouldn't be looking up to you, but they are most definitely looking up to you. And so it's, you've just got this person in their feels, like in a lot of ways. And I do feel like it threw them off guard you sent your person to a frenzy, and they don't know how to think about you, really. They know that they're turned on by you. They know that they're intrigued. They know that you've upset the balance between the two of you and made them see your worth and your value. And they have a lot of voices going on in their heads, and I think they want to compete for your attention a little bit, because this person might have, not taken opportunities before to really see you, but they're really seeing you now. Like, they're really seeing you now. I also feel like you have a tenacity to you and like a goal-oriented nature to you that your person just really didn't see before. So now all of a sudden they're looking at you. Like, it's like you went from this like very fun, childlike sort of an energy to this like full-grown ass like woman or man overnight, and like in this person's eyes, and they're like, what? And it's like they found a sparkly unicorn or something, and they're just amazed by it. So they have a lot of conflicting thoughts. They really, honestly, there's a lot of upset in the balance here. Your person hasn't really, their feet haven't hit the ground yet, honestly. They're having honestly really good, this is a really great way to upset someone's, equilibrium. That's what you did in this situation. They have grown in respect for you. And I'm seeing like they're seeing you more on their level now than they ever have in the past. And they're seeing they're seeing your individuality, whereas before they might have lumped you into some kind of demographic data, like especially if there's an age gap or something, they might have thought like, oh, well, you're just young and you don't really know kind of what you're doing, and you're pretty and you're pleasant to be around, but like that's a group of people. That's not like an individual. They're not seeing you as an individual. Do you know what I'm saying? They would just be like, oh, hanging out with young people makes me feel a certain way or something. I don't know. It doesn't have to be that specific example, but yeah, all of a sudden your person's seeing you more on equal terms. Excuse me while I take a drink of my very grown-up coffee beverage. Okay, adult mode on. So their next steps towards you, we have the Three of Pentacles. Your person wants to work with you for sure. Like I said, I think your person has some kind of status. They're used to being in charge. I definitely think they want to work with this, like they want to be this person that's up on the bench here. But your person wants to work with you in some kind of way. This could be, honestly, I'm getting creative energy, like on some kind of a creative project. This could involve a community. This could involve some kind of like spiritual or divine mission. There's whatever this person's deal is, you have a divine mission that you're stepping into right now, and your person's recognizing that. They might not say that to you, but they recognize that you are stepping into your divine mission. That's a potent, powerful energy. I feel like you guys, whatever creative thing that you're doing right now is a part of your divine mission, and you're stepping up into your power. And on an energetic level, people are starting to notice. I'm getting the image from that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio where they like kept going into the dream state, Inception, and like the antibodies of the person's like psyche would like notice that it was like an outsider. Like that's kind of the energy that I'm getting with you, where like people on some kind of a level, very etheric level, right? This fiery, ethery, level, they're starting to pick up on this divine energy that is just starting to kind of infuse your cells and is only going to get stronger. And your person almost feels like they're in it on the ground level, Your person, it has like a bit of a coldness to them, where they see the world. Like I said, I feel like they see people for like kind of what they can do for them. And so while your person has sexual feelings for you and they feel very comfortable around you and you guys have this kind of bond, honestly, you guys might act like children around each other in some way, or you feel as comfortable as like two kids, around each other. Like your person feels those ways about you, but they're going to keep themselves in check in order to achieve whatever goal it is with you. And they might, like, I'm just noticing, like, right, I'm kind of describing three different feelings, right? They feel very comfortable around you. They're very sexually, like, turned on / creatively turned on by you. And they want to work with you in some kind of way. So all three of those, they want to get all three of those eggs in that basket. And they realize that might take a little bit. That might take some kind of moving on. Also, they might need to bring in some friends. They might have a couple of friends that they want to, like, bring in to kind of help with this situation. They could be definitely asking about your friends. If you guys hang out in a similar group, this person is gathering information about you. They're starting to ask people what they know about you, what your interests are, what your goals are. That way your person can make a pitch. Like it might not be an actual pitch, but it's going to be a pitch. Do you know what I'm saying? And their ultimate goal with you, I think, is transformation. Transformation. And there's a ton of creative energy, but your person does their homework. So they have some homework to do because they're realizing that they're playing catch up in seeing you for who and what you really are. So how did your action make this person feel? Intrigued, turned on, creatively stimulated, wanting to move forward, wanting to start some kind of a new beginning, wanting to transform the relationship that you've had and build upon it in several different areas. In some cases, I do think that your person wants to they might want to have an adventure with you. And maybe the adventure is the metaphor for this thing that we call life. Your person might even want to have a kid with you, if that applies. But yeah, this thing that you did really leveled the playing field between the two of you and just honestly made them see your worth and your value. You might have even made them see where you guys are different, but you were strong about it, and it made this person respect you. So again, there's a lot of upset energy in your person's field kind of right now, where they're grappling with these changes because they're realizing that they had some blind spots. So that's what I have for you guys, pile number 1. If that resonated, please do like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I hope to see you guys around again. All right, pile number 2 with the fishy. Let's see. We have, this relationship is bad for my reputation. I know I messed up. I don't like how I feel when I'm with you. Interesting. Oh, okay. All right. So first of all, what did this action that you took? First of all, I think whatever action you took, you made an independent stand from this person. Maybe you even had to glow up a little bit here with the 9 of Pentacles down here. And I do feel the energy of walling somebody off and not really paying attention to them, and you were focused on maybe some kind of project or hobby that you like, and you were honestly just kind of enjoying the good life in some kind of a way here. So how did they feel in response to that? We have the Queen of Cups. So first of all, I'm getting the energy of remorse and also being very reflective. I think your person kind of went into a reflection kind of a state. You have your person in their emotional state. They know they messed up. So they're trying to relate to you honestly on an empathetic level, but you guys are kind of looking away from each other here. And you're this person's operating, your person that you came here asking about is operating more in their emotional space, right? This circumstance and whatever this stand was that you did has your person being more contemplative, operating more in their, we even have the Hermit here too. Yeah, so your person, okay, and the 9 of Swords, yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, so there's just walled off energy from your person here. You have them in their fields, and I do think that they are a little bit withdrawn. Yeah, your person's withdrawn and reflecting and honestly self-soothing and self-protecting because they know that they messed up. You are operating in the material world and being independent of this person. So I feel like you're not talking to this person and you are not even looking at them, and you're focused on living your best life. Your person might see pictures of you. They might see you out doing really amazing things and being awesome. And there could be a new hobby or something that you have, without this person. But yeah, your person's all in their feels about this situation. And And this relationship is bad for my reputation. I'm almost getting that, like, they feel guilty, like they feel like they should have known better in some kind of a way. So that's why I think it's bad for their reputation. Because they hurt you in some way. They know that they messed up. And you are showing up in highly feminine, highly spiritual energy, regardless of your gender. You're showing up as the moon, which is a spiritual, divine, feminine planet. This is like the energy of the high priestess with the moon here. And also, like, the thing about the moon is, like, you're a person that people don't want to hurt. Like, that's why your person doesn't, I don't know, I don't like how I feel when I'm with you. I know I messed up and this relationship is bad for my reputation. And you also have, like, the fish, which is clearly Pisces up here too, right? So with the moon card and the Pisces energy, you are a person that is so, like, people can just pick up on the receptivity in you. Like, you're a sweetheart. You're very, you know, people might describe you as empathetic. You are a person that people, they want to take care of on whatever level, whatever level this is. I'm also getting Hasta energy. I get a lot of Hasta energy on my channel, I'm not going to lie, right? Because that's the moon ruled nakshatra in the middle of Virgo. And we have monk nun down here. And that's, like, to me, it's like very Virgo energy. Also, I get the energy of Pushya with this card in particular, because it is the moon, but, like, her features and everything, they're very Saturnian. And Saturn, the Saturn ruled nakshatra in Cancer, which is ruled by the moon, is Pushya. And Pushya is the divine priest to the gods. So there is something very priest-like about you. Like, you are a person who's very receptive, very loving, very empathetic. You probably have a lot of spiritual knowledge. This is something that people kind of know about you. You're a healer. You might have some kind of Ashwini in your chart, maybe even Ashwini Venus, Ashwini Moon. You could do some kind of work with your hands, but I'm overall seeing that you are looked upon in your group, in your community, as a very loving healer, like, type person. Very selfless devotion and single-minded dedication to spirit. You are a very spiritual person. And you might even, people might even look at you as having some kind of psychic abilities, something like that. Maybe you do divination and tarot and things like that. But you're definitely coming off as, like, high priestess, very spiritual kind of vibe. And like, the thing about moon energy too, it's like when something bad happens to a moon ruled person, society kind of responds in a way that's, like, not overdone, because people should care, but there's this one story. I've been watching, like, a bunch of murder shows on YouTube. You know, this quarantine, it's really taken its effect on us. But there's this girl, and she was, like, super sweet, and I immediately thought, like, when I saw her, when I was hearing her story, that she had to have been moon ruled or moon dominant in some way, because she got basically, she went missing, and I'm pretty sure she was, like, murdered, but, like, her murderers were never brought to justice because they never really found a body, and they never had any evidence. But, like, nobody really knew this girl. Her story was on the news, and then everybody in the town was out looking for her and completely outraged. I mean, like, murders are terrible, you know, when they happen, but the whole town doesn't mobilize, like, over a person, you know, just over anybody. But it's like that moon energy of, like, how dare someone hurt someone who's so open and so sweet and so loving and so vulnerable. So anyways, that was a very long-winded, kind of dark caveat to why, like, your person doesn't like how they're feeling when they're with you and that they know they messed up. I don't feel like your person set out to hurt you. And that is, I think your person's actually a really lovely, really nice person, and so are you. And although I can hear some of you being like, they are absolutely not. And that's okay. They don't have to be. Hold on one moment. If your person's not a lovely person, it's hard to pick up on. Okay? Okay, so, yeah, I honestly think your person is kind of a nice person here. But this could be, honestly, a scuffle, a kerfuffle that's happened in some kind of spiritual community, or in a group of people, like between two people and around a group of people that consider themselves spiritual in some kind of way. Like, that's something that binds this group together, or these people. Like, that's kind of a part of their their ego identities in a way, and not in a bad way either. Everybody here is kind of striving to be a good person, including your person, which is why they've started this reflective kind of a process. They are also thinking a lot about healing the situation, nurturing the situation, but they don't want to approach you if it's going to ruin things, like if it's going to hurt you even further, because this could just be like a, you know, oil and water situation where you guys don't mix. And your person's like very hesitant to open up because it's bad for their reputation, right? Like, and there's some kind of secretive energy with you. Yeah. And then I'm just noticing the shadow attribute, negative judgment of the physical world, excess piety. Like, I just feel like your person doesn't know how to relate to you because they see you as being so spiritual, especially with Pisces here. Like you, okay, so also that, like with the negative judgment of the physical world, Pisces is the 12th sign, the final sign, where everything goes to dissipate and merge with the all, right? So everything, this is like the rub, right? This is the kicker, is that everything that we have built through the rest of the zodiac, through going through, I mean, think about the first house of Aries where you're building yourself, and second house where you're building your values and wealth, and the third house you're building your community. Like, you spend a lot of time, and all of your time and energy going through that zodiac wheel, building up yourself in a way, because, okay, I want to say this right now. Yes. Okay. Because like Chariot card, right? They used to sacrifice kings. And essentially that's what we're all doing here, because only emperors and empresses are worthy of the sacrifice, right? And the thing that makes a sacrifice worthy, I think, in the eyes of the divine, is consent. Like, so when the patriarchy really took hold and they stopped sacrificing kings, they started sacrificing horses. Well, in my opinion, you can't sacrifice a horse. You can only kill a horse because the horse is not consenting, okay, to be your stupid sacrifice. So what good is that to any like kind of energy, you know? But that's essentially what we're all doing in this wheel of Dharma, is like, you build yourself up, you have these experiences, you relate to life in a way, you go through the process of what Jung would call individuation, where you individuate and, you know, in hopes of pleasing the creator, of building yourself up in a really, like the hermit, you know, in a way that is wise and pleasing, and making your own nature as like nature. I'm going on and on here. Anyways, the lesson of Pisces, that 12th house, is like, okay, you built all that up, give it away. This is the Christian practice of being tested. And oftentimes, like that test, you don't know how it's going to come, because you're tested in the way, and you're asked to give up the thing that is most valuable to you, right? And it can catch people off guard. Like, I know for me, going through my Christian, like what I know, my testing of faith moment was, I had to give up my own Christian faith. Like, I had a complete crisis of faith. And I realized afterwards that that was God testing me to see if I was going to cling to the identity, if I was actually going to follow and actually walk the path, instead of just reading the Bible and pointing to the Bible that was like this flat two-dimensional surface that would burn, you know? So sorry that was preachy, but this is the energy of this pile, and this is the energy of you, where it's like, you are very focused on your spirituality, and there's something like hidden and also strict about you with that Saturn energy, where it's like you probably spend a lot of time, like maybe that rant didn't bother you at all because you spend a lot of time thinking about divine spiritual law. You spend a lot of time reading, you spend a lot of time like trying to walk the walk, and it's intimidating for this person, because I think this person's spirituality is a lot less stringent than yours in a way, and you don't necessarily feel like you need to open up about it. Like, you have a very personal kind of a path. And so your person is, anyways, they're thinking a lot about this. They're thinking a lot about this karmically. Why? Is because the world, because they see you as really beautiful, they see you as untouchable, and they see you as very victorious. You could have moved far away from this person, and with the world card here, right, with the World Wide Web, like there could be an energy of just seeing things happen online, but feeling like you're turned away from them. And this is a slight on some kind of energetic level, because they see you in such a high light. They see you as like such a spiritual powerhouse, and if you are rejecting them in some kind of a way, like they feel it. They absolutely feel it. They also think that you are completely beautiful, and that they think that you're pretty realized. They think you're a pretty realized person. So I don't know if this, I don't know what, I might draw another card here just to see. I'm just going to clarify this one more time. Because I'm just seeing that like somebody was really independent. Maybe your person was like super independent and walled off, and they were all about their pentacles and like their, you know, little pet projects, and they didn't really have time for you, and they weren't looking at you. That could be the energy of the Nine of Pentacles. Somebody was definitely doing that, where they weren't focused on this spiritual, emotional connection. Yes, I think that's it. I think we'll see like if anything else comes out here, but like that's definitely the energy, because like you were very spiritually focused and this person was kind of pentacles focused. Okay, oh my gosh, the High Priestess. Yeah, there's a duality here. And there was like, yeah, just withdraw, being inaccessible. And I do feel like you guys have a very powerful soul connection. So it's like this is all felt very heavily on a soul level between the two of you guys. You guys are fighting on the 5D or, you know, and something like that, where like this is a conversation kind of unfolding. And it's here to teach you a very potent lesson. Not you, I kind of think your person, well, both of you, I don't know. But this is a very important soul connection. And that's kind of why you guys were brought together right now. So how your person is feeling about you, we have the Hermit card, or how they're feeling about this. They're feeling reflective. This is major arcana. The world is major arcana, right? So this is like huge in your guys' soul journey. Also, let's count the moon as major arcana too, even though it's from a different deck. And then we also have the High Priestess here. This is really, really big soul lesson going on here. So if you haven't been able to get this person out of your mind, if you don't know why you're thinking about that, oh my gosh, yeah, with the 12th house and Pisces. So if you feel like you have a different kind of connection to this person than you've had to other people, that's why. It's because you have you could have 12th house synastry with this person, 4th house synastry, moon. Your moons are talking to each other. Somebody's moon's falling into somebody else's 12th house. If you have a luminary falling into someone's 12th house, which could be the case here, your luminary could be falling into this person's 12th house. Then all of a sudden you're lighting up things that they're very unaware of, and things that are really uncomfortable for them. Jewel calls the 12th house like the attic. You know, you're lighting up this person's attic. Like you kind of put old things in there, you forget about those things, and it can be a really uncomfortable connection, but it's also a soulmate connection. It's also indicative of a soulmate connection and a psychic bond. And also something's being secretive about your relationship. So definitely there's some 12th house, Neptune, moon kind of synastry stuff going on here. But your person thinks a lot about this. They're trying to use this to make themselves a better person, and to with the Hermit card here being Virgo and ruling the everyday life, like your person's trying to reflect on how they behave in everyday life and how they can see true worth and value in a way as they move towards their everyday life, and how they can be a better person and be more wise. So like what's interesting is, what do they want from this connection? Your person, okay, with the 9 of Swords, I think you both take your spiritual paths very seriously. Like, even if it doesn't seem like it because this person hurt you, you know, and you might be inclined to say, like, whatever, this person sucks. Like, there's something about, like, wanting to take their lickings, you know? Like, your person wants to feel the pain because they want to burn it out, because they're trying to reflect heavily on this. They want to feel this pain. They want to... I also think they want to have the hard conversation. They want to hash it out in order to get to the truth, because there's so much Neptunian energy, that 12th house Neptunian energy, that your person just wants to see through it. They want to know the truth. They don't like dealing in this amorphous kind of an energy. It's like they like spirituality, but when they're faced with the final lessons of the 12th house, they're really struggling. So they want some kind of clarity. That's not an uncommon feeling to have when you're dealing with that 12th house. It's really hard to put your finger on. Your person just wants some kind of clarity. And I think they want to know that you're suffering too, because you're not really looking at them. And your person sees you as like being really successful, being very spiritual, probably having some kind of status. Maybe you're even like, you know, maybe you're going somewhere else for some kind of spiritual teaching, and this person feels slighted. With the High Priestess card, like, you could have, like, refused to, you know, realize somebody's, like, authority, you know? And you guys are just different. You're, like, two sides of the same coin. This is very, like, yin-yang kind of energy. This is a highly, highly, highly spiritual connection here. So what are their next steps that they want to take towards you? We have the Six of Pentacles. So I'm kind of getting that your person's a bit pompous because the Hermit follows the Emperor card, right? So this person, I do feel like maybe that your person tried to be some kind of spiritual leader in some sense of the word. They wanted to have some kind of authority or power over you. They wanted to be victorious over you, but like they kind of can't seem to get there. Like you seem walled off in some kind of a way. This seems like as much as it is about spirituality, it's also about winning in some kind of a way. And both of you just want to be acknowledged by the other one, but you want to be acknowledged for different things. So I think that your person's next steps is, first of all, I still don't necessarily see them looking at you. I think that this person, if they have money to show off, they're going to do that. They're probably going to be giving in a very pious way. They're going to really play up this leadership role, this authoritarian, hierarchical role here. I don't think your person comes off as super authoritarian, but status and position, being a leader is very important. Like this is the type of person that you might want to shake and be like, student and teacher are two sides of the same coin, right? The teacher is just the first student. And being the student, the perpetual student, is what keeps propelling us up and up and up here. So I don't think that you felt seen by this person. I think you felt like they wanted you to kind of fall in line. And I've seen this energy before in another one of my readings. But how did this move make them feel about you? Very reflective. A little disappointed in themselves. I see them being disappointed in themselves in the way that they handled this. I think they feel judged, and that's what I think is like, I know I messed up, I don't like how I feel when I'm with you, and this is bad for my reputation, because this person, I do feel like, is in some kind of leadership position in a spiritual sort of sense, and what you did had people looking at them, people of status, people that they want to respect them and want them to see like in a victorious sort of a light. They want people to see them as emotional, sensitive, beautiful, spiritually evolved, well studied, somebody who has attained some kind of level of achievement here in a very carefree kind of a way, and somebody who, carries that energy really well. So there's something that attracted some kind of negative energy. So maybe that's why your person's withdrawn. Maybe they've even withdrawn on that scene as well. To do some reflecting, and I think that was maybe even important for their PR in some kind of a way. I know this is a very specific message, pile number 2, so I know it's not going to resonate with everybody, but yeah, I see your person, trying to kind of shed this emperor attitude and be more of the hermit, pull back a little bit. Joel Osteen just popped into my head, so I don't know if that means anything to you, but yeah, that's what I have for you guys, pile number 2. Thank you for watching. Again, I know this was a very specific message, so if that resonated, please do let me know, and like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Sorry I got a little preachy and weird there in the middle, but thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you back here again. All right, pile number 3. Let's see what's going on. Oh. Okay, we have best friends. We have I'm intimidated by you. I think I can feel what you feel. Sorry if you guys can hear my cat eating. Okay. All right. So, how did what you did affect your person? How are they feeling about that? Well, they want to start something new and substantial with you. Especially, first of all, I'm getting a strong storyline of like 2 friends, and this person actually has a crush on you, and they want to start something with you. And you might have like made something kind of known around that. Like when you guys were hanging out, maybe you like let on with some passionate energy, but it was like very comforting. It's very, with the energy of 4 in the 4th house, very comforting. And maybe there was some kind of party or celebration. Maybe you threw a party, or you were at a party, you looked really nice or something, and you were maybe a little more flirty. I feel like you hinted at your feelings in some kind of really classy, really warm, kind of also sexy sort of a way. And what's really great, and I just want you guys to know up front, is that they're seeing you as Mars. Like very, very beautiful, very sexy. Maybe you're super athletic. You like to do things with your body. You know, you could have some tattoos. You could just be a very sexual person. Mars, like with Venus, which I'm also getting the energy of Venus here, but they're seeing you as Mars. And the energy of Venus that's permeating this, we also have like the Two of Cups here, right? You have the rose quartz stone. We have best friends. That's a lot of Venusian energy, right? And Venus rules that 7th house of one-on-one relationships. So your person definitely wants to have a one-on-one relationship with you that is a soulmate kind of connection if you guys don't have that already. And I feel like your person just wants to deepen that with you. There's a lot of good feelings. Also, as I just said that about the Libra and the 7th house and everything, right? Libra and the scales of justice. I just started reading this Avenger card, and it says, desire to balance the scales of justice, righteousness on behalf of society or oneself. So desire to balance the scales of justice is something that is sticking out to me. Maybe you had a party or something and it was like very social justice minded. You could be an activist with this kind of energy coming through. Venus is like, you know, associated with the Empress, so there could be some kind of social justice cause, something to do with healing with the star here as well. But your person sees you as a go-getter, somebody who goes out to, you know, gets whatever that is that they want. You're not afraid to stand up for people and stand up for goodness in general. But with this Mars energy here, very seductive, very sexy. You could have a Mars-ruled nakshatra in your chart. So Dhanishta, which is in the final nakshatra in Capricorn. And Dhanishta is one of the most attractive signs. Also, that one is like also associated with wealth. Like you could kind of own some property or something. Just with that kind of energy coming through. There's also the energy of Dhanishta where like sometimes they can be like controlled by like a masculine energy. So maybe that's like the desire to balance the scales. This could be a father figure or someone, you know, they could feel like there's a masculine energy around you that's maybe like kind of trying to puppeteer you a little bit behind the scenes. There's also Chitra, which is also in the sign of Libra, and that one's actually super balanced because Libra and Aries are opposite signs, and Mars is the natural ruler of Aries. So and Chitra, like they're very spiritual. They often have like bright eyes and flashes of like spiritual insight. They're very lovely people, very diplomatic people. Yeah, I'm getting honestly like heavy Chitra vibes. Or Margashira. Margashira is the last sign in Gemini. So you could be like a sexual rights activist, because Margashira I often associate with like, because it's the nakshatra following Rohini, and it's the nakshatra that deals with like leaving the garden, leaving the safety of the haven of the creator, because what is created, like that creative sexual energy, which you definitely are embodying here, often like is there to serve and like satiate the creator, and like the lore around that deals with, you know, there's a father figure, you know, it's very biblical. That's, you know, maybe sexually pursuant. And I'm not suggesting incest, but you could just be a person who has to dodge a lot of sexual advances, and you could have a lot of interest in like women's rights. I'm definitely getting women's rights with all this Venus energy here. I'm kind of embarrassed that I didn't catch on to that before, but you are a force to be reckoned with. I feel like you probably associate with feminism in some kind of a way, and all I mean by feminism is just equal rights for women. And again, with the Libra energy, we're having like balancing out the scales. So there's some kind of activism, or you maybe this is a cause that you feel very drawn to in some way. And I think that you are a very strong person. Like you don't have to be female. Especially with Mars, like Mars, you know, it kind of is a more masculine energy, but there is this like really magical thing that happens when like Venus is dominant in a man's chart and Mars is dominant in a woman's chart, because each of the sexes really respond to that energy in the opposite sex. I hope that wasn't confusing, right? Like men really respond to Mars dominated women because there's a kinship there, and women really respond to Venus dominated men because men understand that like female sexual nature, those Venus dominated men. And so there could be a little bit of that situation going on where it's like you're comfortable with your sexuality, but you fight for like, you fight for people like that. Then we also have like, I'm intimidated by you. I get that you're like, you're going places. Like you have goals, you have a fire lit up under you in some way, and your person just really admires and respects it. And it also like finds it very, very attractive. So whatever it was that you did, like if this is a work situation and you like organized some kind of an event, I feel like for some of you, I'm really getting that you confess your feelings, because the Four of Wands can deal with like making order out of chaos. So maybe you guys like you made your feelings clear, basically. It made like your person with the Page of Pentacles, they want to move towards you, and they want to like start with the Pentacles energy here. This is something that they can see being long term, and there's always a sense of being like just enamored. And look how he's holding this pentacle, you know. He sees value in you, or she sees value in you as a person, and they're just completely fascinated by you in a way that's like super intimidating. So it's like they want to take it slow, and I feel like they want to take it slow in part because they don't want to like let you down or disappoint you or make a fool of themselves. Like they want you to see them in just as high of a light, which I think you do. So why do they feel this way? The Two of Cups, like this person really likes you. There's like you guys have a kindred spirit. Again, I'm getting this like Venus-Mars connection. You guys might have some Venus-Mars synastry in your chart. But there's just like a beautiful, like there's a beautiful interplay between the two of you. And you both see this going places, honestly. You're both very inspired by one another as well. Like, your person's definitely inspired by you. And there's just so much Venus energy, you guys. Just value. I'm just hearing value and partnership. Like, there's so much value in you as a person, and you guys share a lot of similar values, I think. And I'm just noticing his little hand like reaching out for her, and it's similar to the Page of Pentacles energy, where it's like you might have subtly started the ball rolling in some way by making your feelings clear, and it's making your person want to like reach out, you know, and offer you their cup of love. So how are they feeling about this situation? Hopeful with the Star card here. I mean, this is textbook, you guys. Like, you're a dream come true, and your person wants to be able to be vulnerable to you. I also think your person wants some alone time with you. They want to make their feelings clear and known as well. They know that this relationship is like ripe for the picking, you know, like it's that really amazing time, like right before a relationship, you know, starts, where everything feels really fertile. The Star card often deals with like fertility. I think your person finds you incredibly beautiful. There's the energy of Venus here, which is like just beauty. There's the energy of Mars here, which is like sexual attraction and having like a very pleasing physical form, and also the way that you move your physical form. If you do some form of dance, if you do some form of yoga, or I always get hula hooping with Mars. If there's something that you do with your body, like your person is very, very attracted to that. With the Star energy here, that's also like, I mean, just absolute beauty. Like you're somebody who stands out to this person, and is just beautiful in a very like etheric sort of way. So what's interesting is, what do they want to happen with you guys? We have the Seven of Swords, which isn't exactly the best kind of an energy. Maybe there's some reason like you guys are in a friend group or something, and so they want to kind of keep this hidden so that you guys don't have people, like there's a lot of good feelings here, and so I'm not really getting anything too bad with the Seven of Swords. I'm just kind of like, maybe they want to sneak around a little bit so that they don't have to, you guys don't have to explain this to people. Like I'm also noticing the masked thing here. Like you might agree with this person where you feel like there's a reason to be a little bit masked or a little bit guarded, a little bit protective of the situation. Like I'm also getting this with his stance here in this card, the Mars card. And also because there's something new and fresh and vulnerable about this situation. So I do feel like your person, I feel like there's a group around you guys, maybe. Like maybe there's two camps too, but like there's definitely like a group, and your person wants to be able to steal these moments away with you. I think I can feel what you feel. I don't so much get a telepathic energy with this pile. I think it's actually very grounded in the material world. I think that what I'm getting from that, and also like with the Two of Cups here, I'm getting this very mirrored energy. Like, your feelings are my feelings. The way that you feel is the way that I feel. We share similar values. We see a similar path forward. So I would say with this person, however you're feeling, it's a safe bet that like that's how they're feeling, you know? So their next steps towards you is the Page of Wands. This is like, I feel like, again, like this person wants to kind of reach out and like with the physical touch, you know, they want to like make some kind of contact, because I feel in some way, and it's not uncommon, right, for the female to subconsciously, or that feminine energy, whichever one of you is like the more feminine of the energies, to subtly like let the masculine energy know that it's okay to like approach them, you know? And so in that way, maybe the masculine energy makes the first outward move, but the feminine energy is kind of set the ball in motion. So that's the situation that I'm kind of getting here. Like, it's all very classy and very tastefully done. So with the Page of Wands, I feel like your person wants to make that first passionate move, like in the material world. Like your person might want to kiss you or make physical contact. I already think that there's a relationship in place where your person feels comfortable, like interacting with you and being around you and talking with you. I don't think that that's a problem at all in the slightest. So I think that your person wants to take it to the next level, and the next level being like passionate, you know, and physical. And making some kind of, you know, touching your arm in a way that like, you know, sends a jolt through you, or, you know, just kind of leaning in for a kiss or something. But your person wants to be very respectful about it. Don't get bad energy at all. And with 2 pages here, I mean, I think they want to communicate. There's definitely the energy of like, they want to send you a message. Like, how does your person feel? How do they feel? They felt excited, they felt enamored, they felt like they wanted to communicate back, and that they wanted to reciprocate. Your person felt like they wanted to reciprocate feelings with you. Yeah, this is like a really cute energy, pile number 3. Like, your person also just sees you as really fierce. It wouldn't surprise me if you're a man, actually, in this pile. So if I haven't made it clear of like the male reading, because I try to use a lot of inclusive language so that people can kind of find their way through. But if you're a masculine, everything honestly still stands. They see you as honestly very masculine, and like a protector, but a protector in a very fair sense. Like, you are an alpha of the space. Of a space that you guys are sharing, and they feel that you're very protective over them and protective of your relationship. There is like, if you're a masculine especially, like your person feels that protective energy from you, that you want to kind of keep things, you know, protected. They feel very safe around you. But also, I do feel like your physical attractiveness is contributing to the intimidation. Like, yes, you're a fierce person. I think you're probably very social. You're really good in social situations. A lot of people are very drawn to you, and you use all those energies for really good causes. So that energy together is very potent, and it makes your person feel very intimidated. But I also think there's something about the way that you look, and like, because of how you look, like because you look so nice in this person's opinion, like you're sexy, you're beautiful. Then it makes your person like all the more intimidated by you. Because I'm just noticing like the two, like in 2 key positions, like about them, they're showing up as pages. So they might put you up on a bit of a pedestal here. And they might feel like they can't really see all of you, and they wonder, there's something like almost dangerous about you. Like, they wonder, that's like very passionate, you know, like you could like get worked up, you know, but as soon as it comes, it goes. Or they sense that about you, and that leaves them feeling a little bit intimidated too. But overall, like, they really do trust you. They think very highly of you, and yeah, this is really good energy, pile number 3. So if that resonated, please do like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I hope to see you guys around again. Bye.